Picture yourself on the shore of a lake 2 million years ago. You've walked for 6 hours under an equatorial sun, and your mouth feels like sand. There's water in front of you. Brown, warm, full of algae, and something is moving beneath the surface. You drink anyway. You have no choice. For most of human history, finding water wasn't the hard part. Surviving the water you found was. Every pond, every river bend, every water hole carried 3 separate ways to kill you. And ancient humans built their entire lives around managing that risk. The first danger was invisible. Contaminated water carries parasites and bacteria that cause dysentery and severe dehydration. Archaeologists studying ancient human coprolites, fossilized feces, have found whipworm and tapeworm eggs in samples going back tens of thousands of years. A gut infection alone could kill a healthy adult in under a week out there. No hospital, no antibiotics, no backup plan. The second danger was what lived in the water with you. Lake Turkana in modern Kenya sits near some of the richest early human fossil sites on Earth, and it's also home to some of the largest Nile crocodiles alive today. Bite marks matching large crocodiles have been identified on hominin fossils found near ancient shorelines in the region. Getting a drink meant walking straight into the territory of an animal built to kill in 3 seconds. Groups solved this the same way herd animals solve it. Safety in numbers, drinking fast, posting someone to watch the water, while everyone else drank quickly and left. The third danger was scarcity itself. In dry season across much of Africa, surface water simply disappears for months. And this is where one of the cleverest survival techniques in human history comes in. The sand people of the Kalahari Desert dig sip wells, narrow holes pushed a meter or more into dry riverbeds where underground moisture still lingers. They insert a hollow grass stem, pack the opening with dry grass to filter out sand, and suck water up through the straw into their mouths, then spit it into an ostrich eggshell for storage. This technique is documented among sand communities still practicing it today, and there's no reason to think it's new. Chast Dva. The ostrich egg itself became one of the most important pieces of technology in arid Africa. At Deep Kloof Rock Shelter in South Africa, archaeologists recovered engraved ostrich eggshell fragments dated to roughly 60,000 years ago, each one marked with a distinct cross-hatched pattern. Researchers believe these patterns marked ownership, so a family or individual could identify their own water container among dozens buried in the sand as emergency reserves. One shell holds close to a liter. Buried in cool, shaded sand, that water stayed drinkable for months. Groups would cache dozens of them along known travel routes. Water banks scattered across a landscape that could turn lethal within days if you miscalculated. Plants solved a piece of this problem too. The Sama melon, still found across the Kalahari, is roughly 90% water and grows wild after rain, with no digging required. Baobab trees store water inside their swollen trunks, and some root systems hold enough moisture that people learn to dig them up and chew them for liquid during drought. Elephants dig their own wells into dry riverbeds with their tusks, and early humans almost certainly followed elephant tracks straight to those holes, scavenging water the same way they scavenged meat from other predators' kills. Reading the land mattered as much as finding the water itself. Certain birds, especially sandgrouse, fly directly to water sources at dawn and dusk, sometimes traveling many kilometers in a straight line. Trackers across Africa still use bird flight paths to locate hidden pools, and there's no reason ancient humans missed a signal that obvious. Dew collection was another quiet strategy. In cold desert mornings, moisture condenses heavily on grass and stone. Some groups wiped grass with cloth or animal hide at first light and wrung the moisture into a container, gathering enough over an hour to keep a person going through a dry stretch. None of this was random trial and error passed down once and forgotten. This was accumulated, tested knowledge, taught deliberately from elder to child, because a single wrong guess about which water was safe could end a bloodline. Even the containers themselves took real engineering. Beyond ostrich shells, people used hollowed gourds, tightly woven grass baskets sealed with resin or clay, and the stomachs of hunted animals, cleaned and turned into waterproof pouches. Every option meant trade-offs. Gourds were fragile, skins rotted in heat, shells were heavy, but nearly indestructible. Choosing the right container for a journey was a survival decision, not a convenience. So what did all of this actually cost people? Time. Enormous amounts of it. Some sand groups historically spent hours a day just managing water logistics, digging, filtering, hauling, caching. That's time not spent hunting, not spent making tools, not spent resting. Water wasn't a background need you solved once. It was a daily negotiation with a landscape that could kill you through thirst, through infection, or through the jaws of whatever else showed up to drink at the same muddy pool you needed. And yet, people figured it out. Sip wells, engraved eggshells, dew collection, bird tracking, elephant wells, all of it invented, tested, and passed on by people who had no written language and no way to look any of it up. They just had memory, observation, and the fact that getting it wrong meant dying of thirst in a place surrounded by water they couldn't safely touch.